Ade, a vibrant young man who came from a poor family. His parents struggled and gave him tertiary education. After Ade graduated from university, he had no job. He engaged himself in house painting and bricklaying and all sorts of other menial jobs so he could feed himself. One day on his way coming from his bricklaying job, so tired and exhausted, he saw Amara, a young Igbo lady hawking soft drinks. He approached her and asked her to give him one sachet water. Ade, ashamed and looking down on himself, couldn't look Amara in the face. Amara looked at him and gave him the water and they went their separate ways. Despite Ade being a university graduate, he didn't give up on his dream. He keeps pushing. He saw an advert for job vacancy online and put in application to the company. On the day of job interview, he had set out as early as 7 a.m. He had dressed up, trekking to the place. He got there late and the job has been given to another person. As he left crying on his way home, Amara saw him, quickly recognized him. "This is the guy. Why is he crying?" She moved closer to him. "Uncle, have some water to ease yourself," she said. Ade collected the water from her. They sat on pavement and talked for long. Ade told her, "I am a graduate, but I don't see job. See me, a handsome guy like me. All sorts of dirty jobs, all because I don't have a job. See, I am so brilliant and intelligent. I graduated with first class," he emphasized. Amara laughing and looking as he speaks. "Sorry, may I know your name?" he said. "Ade." She continued. "Good. Ade, you are disappointed because you don't have a job. Why didn't you learn vocational job before going to school?" Ade was silent. He said, "I know." Amara told him everything will be fine. They shared content and they started talking from there. Amara do bring food for Ade whenever she cooks, and from there they started dating. One day, as Amara was hawking her goods in the streets, part of the goods dropped, and as she was about picking it up, she saw a wrapped envelope on the ground and she picked it up with the goods. When she unwrapped the envelope, she took out the sum of 50,000 naira from the envelope. She invested the money to support her business. After a while, Amara's business started growing and she was able to take out the sum of 100,000 naira and give it to Ade to start up something with the money. Ade collected the money with excitement and thanked Amara and started something for himself. Both Amara and Ade's business flourished and they decided it's time for childbearing. Ade and Amara had been married for over a decade, blessed with 3 beautiful children. During Amara's first pregnancy, Ade was very caring and pampering Amara. She thought Ade was the best man on earth. As their love grew stronger with each day passing. However, story changed when Ade told Amara to be a stay-home mom to care for the child. Amara agreed and she got pregnant for the second child. Ade's business flourished well during this period and they became rich. He built a house and bought car for himself. He changed totally and started seeing his wife as nothing because he's already seeing a mistress outside his marriage. Amara endured till she gave birth to her last child. Amara had lost her charm, her beauty faded after childbirth. He constantly belittled her, comparing her to his young, shapely mistress Linda. He ignored Amara's sacrifices, dismissing her pain, her love, her very existence. Amara, despite all, remained devoted to her family. She worked tirelessly, ensuring her children had the best life. even if her husband did not appreciate her. She had been with Ade from the very beginning, back when he had nothing. She supported him emotionally and financially, ensuring he could build the wealth he now enjoyed. But as his business flourished, his love for Amara waned. He began staying out late, refusing to eat the meal she prepared, spending weekends with Linda. Amara noticed the change. She saw how his eyes no longer had warmth when he looked at her. She tried everything to win him back. She changed her wardrobe, wore makeup, and even tried dieting. But nothing worked. Ade's words gripped sharper, his insults more piercing. Look, old Amara, he scowled. One evening when she tried wearing a dress he once loved. Look at Linda, young, fresh, and beautiful, unlike you. Its words cut deep, but she held back her tears. She did not want her children to see her pain. Despite her heart feeling and emotional turmoil, Amara remained the best mother to her children. She ensured they never lacked. She woke up early every morning to prepare their meals, iron their uniforms, and walk them to school. She shielded them from their father's indifference, pretending everything was fine, even if her heart was breaking. Time passed. Her body could no longer bear the stress. She felt sick, but continued to push herself. One night, she collapsed in the kitchen while making dinner. The children screamed for their father, but Ade was nowhere to be found. He was with Linda. They carried their mother to bed, crying and begging her to get better. Amara knew she was dying, but she did not want to leave her children. She fought as hard as she could, but without medical attention, her condition worsened. One night, she held her eldest daughter's hand and whispered, "Take care of your siblings. Love them as I have loved you." The next morning, she was gone. At the burial, the children wept uncontrollably. Their mother, the only source of love and warmth, was gone. Ade stood there, emotionless, as people muttered about his neglect, but he did not care. Linda stood beside him, fearing sorrow, but secretly glad that Amara was out of his way. 6 months after Amara's death, Linda moved in. She wasted no time changing everything in the house. The cook and the housekeeper were dismissed, and the children were forced to do all the chores. "This is your home now," Linda sneered. "If you want to hate, you work for it." Their once joyful home became a place of suffering. The children woke up at dawn to scrub floors, wash dishes, and cook meals. By the time they left for school, they were exhausted and often late. Their performance dropped, and their teachers grew concerned. The principal eventually called Ade in for a meeting. "Your children are struggling," he said. "They are unhealthy, unfocused, and need medical attention. Please take care of them." Ade nodded absent-mindedly, ignoring the warning signs. He had no idea that his children often went to bed hungry, while Linda lavished herself with expensive clothes and jewelry bought with his money. 3 months after moving in, Linda did the unthinkable. She cleared out Ade's bank account and disappeared. When Ade returned home that evening, he found an empty house. Everything valuable was gone. Linda had left a note on the bed. "You had nothing with your money. Just like you abandoned your wife, I am abandoning you." For the first time in his life, Ade felt true pain. He wept, but no one to console him. He had no friends, no wife, no weight, just three children who could barely look at him without resentment. Regret consumed him. He remembered the early days with Amara, how she had been his pillar of strength. He longed for her, but she was gone. The grief was unbearable, and within a few months, he developed hypertension. There was no one to care for him, and he passed away, leaving his children orphaned and destitute. Their mother's relatives took them in, but life was harsh. They were forced to hawk plantains and orange to survive. Their education were cut short, their childhood stolen. For 3 years, they suffered under their hands' harsh treatment until one day they decided to escape. Returned to their father's abandoned house, surviving on the kindness of strangers. They held their sister Aisha and her brother till they carried loads at the market, while the youngest sister, Zainab, grew weaker from malnutrition. One tragic evening, she collapsed. Desperate, they rushed her to the hospital, but without money, they were turned away. On their way to another hospital, tears streaming down their faces, they stopped by a shop and begged a woman for help. Pity filled her heart, and she handed them 5,000 naira. With renewed hope, they reached the hospital, but the admission fee was beyond their means. The sight of helplessness moved the doctor to tears. He treated Zainab for free, returning their money. As they left the hospital, fate intervened. A young shoemaker, David, saw Aisha and was instantly drawn to her sorrowful yet strong presence. David approached Aisha, offering kindness and support, but she was wary. Her father had once claimed love, yet treated her mother cruelly. However, David was persistent. He provided for them, ensuring they never went hungry. Slowly, Aisha allowed herself to trust again. Months passed, and David suggested she return to her father's house and sell it. Use the money to build a future, he advised. I love you, but one day I might fight her. If you secured your future, you will never suffer again. Grateful, Aisha took his advice. She sold the house, used the money to return to school, and build a stable life. David stood by her, supporting her dreams. Years later, Aisha graduated, securing a well-paying job. She and David married, creating a home filled with love, the kind she never had growing up. She ensured her siblings received proper education, breaking the cycle of suffering. Through pains and loss, they found resilience. Through love, she rebuilt what she had once shattered. And in the end, they found happiness, proving that even in the darkest tragedies, hope can bloom again.